My name is Shaylah and I'm a member from the class of 2013 at Newark Collegiate Academy. Go Seniors! When I was 7 years old, I was forcefully taken away from my biological family and placed into the foster care system. From the age of 7 until the age of 9, I was constantly moving from foster home to foster home. At age 9, I was put into a group home for 2 years in Hackensack with other children who didn't have foster homes. Living there was a nightmare. I was with children who were just as angry as I was that their parents weren't able to take care of them. But I always had something inside of me that told me that one day I'll be with somewhere better and with people who would show me that I have a purpose in life. At the age of 11, I was introduced to a woman named Mary Conyers. She took me out of that group home and allowed me to become her foster child. I would go on to live with her for 4 years. Living with Mary allowed me to see that my life was changing for the better for the first time. Mary was the first woman who tried to give me the education that I always deserved, yet never received. I finally knew that I was in a home that would not abuse me or neglect me. When I started living with Mary, I would watch my sister Laniera do her homework every night at the kitchen table. I was quite jealous of her because I wasn't able to read anything. The school she attended at the time was called Team Academy. She was not only a brave person I looked up to, but she was one of the people who I knew would be successful someday. I said to myself, why am I not doing this work like Laniera? I felt her passion for learning growing up, and I knew that Team Academy played a huge role in her intelligence and courageous stamina. At the time, my caseworkers kept telling me that I was not allowed to change schools, so I started to believe that it would never happen. Mary understood that I was destined for greatness. However, it was hard for her to reach her goal as a foster parent because my caseworkers turned everything down. In fact, my caseworkers told Mary that if I were to be removed from my special education school and anything went wrong, that she could possibly be sued. When she told me this, it infuriated me because the one thing that would benefit me the most was just outside of my grasp. When I turned 13 years old, my caseworkers told me that I had to leave Mary and either find a permanent family or be placed back into a group home. I refused to go back to a group home under any circumstances. I wanted more for myself, and so did Mary, which is the reason why she was able to find me a family within a year. At 13, I moved out of Mary's and in with a woman named Carla, who knew Mary from church and who was the woman that adopted me at the age of 15. Not only did I feel important and treasured, but I would have someone else's name and be in a family that I could call my own. I fought for everything growing up. I fought for my parents, hoping they would get themselves together and take my siblings in our back and be normal for once. And I fought to escape almost every group home that I was in, because the very people whose job it was to keep me safe ended up abusing me, yet getting a paycheck at the end of the day. I'm grateful for Mary, because if she didn't see something in me that day that she came to the group home, then I would still be trapped in a life that I did not deserve to live because of my parents' mistakes. When I started living with Carla, she ignored my caseworkers and applied for me to attend teen. That year, they pulled my name out of the lottery, and I was now officially a teen student. However, my first few months at teen were a struggle because I was still far behind my peers academically. This caused me to become intimidated in my English and math classes because I feared that everyone would laugh at me. I had to put in lots of time. Instead of me playing with my friends, I practiced reading, writing, and speaking in front of my family so I could become confident in class. It made me upset that I wasn't having as much fun as my friends were, but the end result showed me that hard work and dedication certainly does pay off. Carla started to buy numerous novels that she and I would read every night for 2 hours. I would practice math with her friend April. I spent time after school with Ms. Cook for tutoring. I often left school at 6 or 6:30. I sought out help as soon as I encountered a problem, such as multiplication, which was something that I should have already learned. All this hard work and dedication in my academics started to give me the boost and confidence that I needed in order to prove my intelligence in class. I became less nervous to read in English. In fact, whenever the English teacher didn't call on me, I became very upset. Not only that, but I became a lot stronger in math, which helped me to pass some of the quizzes that looked impossible before. By the time I started the 8th grade, nothing posed a threat. I knew that I had people at home and at school that would help me. None of my peers could question me about staying back anymore, because they knew that although I was 2 years older than them, I could still do the same work as them. By the end of my first 2 years at Teen, I had learned that if I want to accomplish anything in life, I would have to work hard and be nice. I had also learned that nothing in life is handed to you. You have to chase those goals that you wish to achieve. Otherwise, the end result will have little to no value. I went from the 13-year-old who could barely read a book to being a student who took AP English her senior year of high school. I went from the struggling math student to the student who took pre-calculus her senior year of high school. I went from the student who was too intimidated to speak in class to become the student who couldn't stop talking in class. And to now being the student who's speaking in front of you today. I want everyone to know that the impossible is happening every day. Although I started school late, was abused as a child, taken away from my family, was homeless and couldn't read until the age of 13, I am now just 1 week away from my high school graduation. In fact, I'm a much stronger person because I have persevered. Even when I wanted to give up in school, I held my head up high and I continued to work hard and be nice. In life, mistakes will certainly happen. It's rather what we do after those mistakes determine where we go in life. I know that I'm not the valedictorian or the 4.0 student. What Teen taught me is that although I may not have had everything come easy to me academically, I can still work hard and accomplish the goals that I set for myself. I know what it feels like to earn everything. From my first official team shirt, to my first B in math, to earning the best education over the past 6 years. And just weeks ago, I opened an envelope, kind of nervous because it was a very thin envelope. And I found out that I have earned admission into Monmouth University. I am glad that my past did not dictate my present, because we all have a story to tell. And no matter who you are or what mistakes you made, we can all be the change that we wish to see in the world. Thank you. So, they didn't know that I was going to do this tonight, but I wanted to take a moment to say a special thanks to the people who I just told you about in my story, who made everything possible. Can the following people please stand, even though I know it's really dark here. Mr. Regans. not least Carla McNeely. Please stand. Mr. Regans, wherever you are. Mr. Regans, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for never giving up on me. Thank you so much. And to my family, Mary, Janice, and my mother Carla, thank you for seeing something in me that no one else could. Thank you so much. Wait a minute. Mom, thank you for adopting a 15-year-old brat.